Alright, hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for watching today. We got something really exciting that's going on right now. As you see, we've been working on Christmas lights and getting ready for Christmas with the family, and the kids are excited. My wife and I were excited. We love Christmas. We love the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and we love celebrating that, and we just love the holidays in general. And so we've been spending a lot of time with the family. I've been working, and I know it's been several months since I posted anything. You're just busy, and so the wife and I, we've had our eye on a new vehicle for a while, and what I'm gonna use it for. She's gonna use it for probably a daily driver. She loves this thing, but what I'm gonna use it for is a tow rig to tow the hot rods and stuff like that, and just probably drive it around anyways. My old red truck is getting it's getting pretty rough, but anyways, so we've had our eye on it for a while, for about 2 or 3 years. Some friends of ours, family friends, they've had it, and did some trading for a little Model A, and he had it for a while, and it just wasn't his cup of tea. So my nephew picked it up. My nephew had it for a little while, and he found another truck that he wanted, and he needed some money to get it. So me and my wife, we had finances right now to be able to do it, and so we went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. And so without further ado, here it is. Alright, so what you're looking at here is, I think it's a 70 model. I think that's what the title said, 70 model GMC. It's a half-ton truck, originally long wheelbase. And if any of y'all know, they didn't actually make... They made a dually, but it was called a Longhorn. The bed was a little longer, and the tires actually tucked up inside. So what they've done here is they've taken step side fenders and put it on a long wheelbase truck. However, a lot of guys, when they do this, they just put adapters. This guy actually put a rear end in it, 1-ton rear end. So it's got a heavy duty rear end. It's like a 456 gear, so it only does like 60 miles an hour. So that's something we're fixing to address today in this video, or try to start addressing it. You can see this is Zach C's Chop Shop. I guess that's who did all this, and they did a great job. However, something that I'm going to probably do is cut this off, because I won't be pulling any goosenecks with it, and go ahead and put me some bars in here, cut these bars so it'll sit lower. Let me make sure I can do that so that I can get some more bed clearance in here. Fuel tank, air pumps in there. Everything works. I drove it home. It just only does like 55-60 miles an hour, like 3,000 RPMs. This thing's like screaming at 60 miles an hour. So we're going to address that. Now it has, we live in a coastal area. I think this thing was made or built, or probably lived most of his life down by Galveston, in that area. So there's some rust issues, you know, there. And then down here on the rockers, there's some rust there too. However, it was a heavily optioned truck. It's got factory AC in there. None of that's hooked up. It's kind of got a cool, warm bench seat and panels. I mean, it's a really nice. I'm pretty excited about it. I did pick up some cab lights at Swap Me. I'm sorry I didn't take y'all along for that. But for like $7, got a brand new like set of cab lights. I'm thinking about putting them on here. Anyway, it's got a small block, turbo 350. Pretty cool little truck. We're excited about it. It's not like I'm not going to consider it a show truck. Some people probably would. This is a good driver. You know, it's nothing super nice, but we're going to work on it and continue. So one of the things we're going to do today is, or what my plan is, this has like the tire on it is for like a Honda or something like that. It's a, I think, what is it, 205 35? Yeah, 215 60. So we're gonna go to like a 235 75. So I think this is like a 23 inch tire. And I seen this. I had a Cadillac. Somebody put a low profile tire on a 15 inch rim also. You can see like the tire doesn't fit. Excuse me. The tire doesn't fit the fender well. And then two, I had to zip tie a fuel pump up underneath because I got a vortex style block. You can't put a mechanical fuel pump on it. I'll probably drill a hole and make, because the revisions there, it just needs a hole for the fuel pump rod. Anyways, I had to zip tie a fuel pump underneath it before I drove off. And I was so nervous about these poly lines, you know, it's got these poly lines on it. I was so nervous about those things blowing out and getting my arm stuck under there, my head. I actually had my head under there at one point in time. My wife, she took me over there, and she was kind of nervous about it too. I was like, look, we're gonna do something about this. So I talked to my local tire shop, used tire shop. He's got some tires. I think they're, like I said, 235 65 or 235 75. I can't remember, but they're like a 29-inch tall tire, like it goes on a 3/4 ton Chevy. So what it's going to do is it's going to raise it up. I think it's going to be about 5 inches higher overall, so it won't lay frame anymore. I really don't care if it does or doesn't. My wife is really, she really likes the way it does this, but you know, if I raise it up 5 inches, it's really not going to hurt much. That's what we're going to do. And what I'm going to have to do is, if you see over here on these wheel wells, I'm going to have to trim it out a little more. Now I can't go higher because it's actually, the tire's actually touching this. Let me show you right here. It's actually touching right here on the fender. So what I'm going to have to do is actually go from the top over to the side, and I'll probably go down to where this wheel well stops on both sides, or maybe a little before that. And I'm going to have to cut the bed out too, but I ain't worried about it. So look, we're fixing to get to that, and I'll get y'all a little video on me cutting that out. It ain't really that big of a deal, but it's some content, right? So I'll get back. Alright, so we got that side cut out. I'm going to go ahead and let some air out of it and see what happens. Yeah, I think that'll work. I may have to trim a little more right up in this area. But for now, I take it up there and get the tires put on it, and go from there. I can leave it aired up till I get home if I have to trim it more. Yeah. Alright everybody, so we just got back from putting the tires on it. As you can see, it looks more like a truck. You can actually see how bad the rockers are right now. Look at this. My building full of Bondo. Anyways, we'll get it fixed. Cab corners, they got a little rust in them too. I'm not really worried about that. I'm not really worried about the rockers right now. But you can see we put a taller tire on it. Went from like a 23-inch tire to a 29-inch tire. Don't have any rubbing issues. Like I said, cleansed it all out yesterday, and it actually, hey look, I think it looks like a truck now. My wife, she wasn't too excited. She liked it laying frame, but you know, can't win them all. So it looks like with the air out. So the front's all the way down. If you can hear it, alright, that's as low as I want to go with it. So I'll give you an idea of what it looks like. I'm not a real big fan of having air suspension on a or air, you know, full air ride on a tow rig, but it's kind of cool. Maybe I can back up to the trailer and then, you know, lift the bags up, and I don't have to get out and jack it up, jack it down. That's kind of nice. However, it sits about 3 inches higher than it was. You know, it still lays pretty low. But what I'm gonna do in another video, and to be honest with you, I'm running a little low on content and ideas for content here lately. So I'm gonna go in here and put some bump stops, because right now it's hollow there. I'm touching tire there, so you can kind of see it over there on that side too. Everything with clearance well, doesn't rub the inside of the fenders. There was a little tab right here I had to take off, but you know, no big deal. The front, it does touch the upper fender support, so I'll have to put some bump stops there, just in case if, like I say, blow a line. Right now the truck is stationary. I couldn't even drive it right now if I wanted to. So we're gonna put some bump stops, get it up off of everything, and but man, pretty straight old truck for I mean, especially being black. You know, black usually there's a little dent down here, and then you can see where they skim coated everything, and then they had come in and grind it all back to tack these fenders on. I'll probably throw some mud in there, mud this up, and see if I get somebody to see if I can get Ryan to color match, blend it for me. He's pretty good at that stuff. Anyways, I think these were primered. I think my little nephew, I think he did some paint on them too. So anyways, he did a good job. But you can tell the front end, I don't know if the front end was separate from the, I don't know, the bed back there, there's a little haze on it, you know, but the front, hey, that's pretty good. Good enough for a tow rig. Anyways, so I think it's 5-inch taller tire. It made 7 miles an hour difference. So at 80, when the speedometer said 80 miles an hour on my phone, on my GPS, I was doing 58 miles an hour. So now at 80 miles an hour, it does 65 miles an hour. So I'm not sure what RPM that is, because I don't have a tach. The motor doesn't seem to be struggling or a lot of blow by or anything, so I need to put a tach in here and kind of verify that. However, I think it's somewhere around $3 because I did, you know, did the old trick. It's not hard on this truck. Spun the back tires and counted the rotations, drive shaft. It's got a 410 gear in it, so that's okay. That's not too bad. Not with a 29-inch tall tire. But however, I am still going to look for a 700R4, and I know y'all are thinking like a 700R4 is a terrible transmission to be towing with and all that. Yes, however, growing up as a kid, that's all we had in vehicles, was 700R4s, and I know my dad used to tow everything with a half-ton truck. Boats, scrap metal, trailer houses, didn't matter. So yeah, it's not ideal. A 4L80 would probably be a better transmission, and I will do that eventually, probably whenever I go to the big block. I may try the 700R4. I've seen on forums where guys are talking about, there was one guy, he had a Suburban with a big block and a 700R4, and he said he tows with it all the time. So we'll see. That might be some good content to see how long it'll last. This isn't a hot rod or anything like that. I'm not trying to do burnouts or, you know, whoop on it real bad. But I do want to be able to tow a trailer with a race car. You know, my race cars aren't very heavy. The 55 might weigh 3,000 pounds. I mean, that's kind of a heavy car, but it might be closer to 2,800. I haven't put it on scale, so I really don't know. Anyways, it probably really ain't too bad for a 700R4, because I mean, who doesn't tow with their half-ton truck? I mean, especially if you think about the 4L60 is pretty much the same transmission as an electronic version of 700R4. People tow with half-ton trucks all the time. I know. I used to tow with my half-ton on a regular basis. So it's not great, but it's not out of the ordinary either. Anyways, especially with small block, I think it'll be fine. So anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Look, thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned. I also got some cab lights, and so I'm gonna do a video. I bought some vintage cab lights at the last swap meet, put some cab lights on it, put the bump stops. Again, thank y'all for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time. God bless.